r/ForeverAlone. Dank 69420 says, I've never had a girlfriend and am nearly 26. Is it over for me? I was thinking this in bed. I genuinely can't ever imagine someone loving me that way, or even I can't picture these things ever happening, and for some reason it's only the loneliness side of things that hits me. Just not having someone to travel with, go out with on weekends, share a space with. It's not about sex. It's about all these experiences I'll never live. It's like there's an entire dimension just locked away that I wasn't meant to experience. Just one less person to cry and worry about me, I suppose. Means it's one less string attached to me in the end. I'm not conventionally attractive, and I work as a physics PhD student, so my work is pretty male dominated, and I have a limited social life. It'll break down if I hear the words "you just haven't met her yet" again. Subatomic Particle 10 says, I'm 22, and I gave up on getting a GF when I was 20. I can exercise, have interesting hobbies, but I can never change my ugly face. Icewing Angel says, it's not definitively over until you decide to bow out, but I'm not going to lie either and say the further pursuit in the field of potential romantic relations wouldn't be a test of both mental and emotional fortitude. Potential success depends on a number of factors as well that are all dependent on individual factors such as immediate environment, social prowess, and other personal capabilities. Sijima says, for what it is worth, I escaped in my mid-30s, so there is no absolute cutoff age-wise. The is it over question is entirely dependent on your reasons for FAR. In my case it was neatdom, obesity, and low self-esteem. Overcoming those got me out. Other people have more serious issues like disability, autism, mental illness, physical deformity. If you are working on a physics doctorate, that is pretty impressive and can lead to a good middle-class career. Being a high-functioning person, at least in career, is good prognostic factor. The rest is just dependent on your reasons for being FAR. Ectoplasmic 1984 says, I hate being born the male gender at times over the years, because being born male means we are never guaranteed options or attention from the other sex for simply just existing. Resent Courtship 2099 says, cases like this anger me and depressed me. Throwaway 54734 says, not necessarily. You're still a young guy. But what can strangers on the internet know about other strangers on the internet? Crotchet Sprinkles 937 says, I had my first girlfriend at 27. I know it sounds patronizing given how you feel, but you're still young. At 27, women are still attracted to potential and promise. You aren't expected to have become everything you will be and aren't yet judged as a finished product. There would definitely be some hiccups as a consequence of your experience, but it's certainly not impossible that someone would at least take a chance on you right now. Obviously, your options depend on your physical appearance, personality, etc. And those can be deal breakers. But your age is not. r/ForeverAlone. Superderp 250 says, when you reach your 30s with no dating experience, your fate is sealed. I know that there's countless threads about inexperienced men on this subreddit, and those threads are actually what made me post this one. Like what's already been said in those other threads, women will not date inexperienced men. They view it as a red flag and huge turn off, and they also get concerned that they'll have to teach him things that most other men his age already know, and he could get super clingy as well, or even that he'll quickly move on after getting some experience. In those other threads, most people said that it's a whole different situation and significantly worse if you're inexperienced in your 30s. Since that's the situation I'm in, it just feels hopeless, since I know that dating will now be an infinite loop of rejection for me where he'll go out on dates and then get rejected each and every time once she finds out I'm inexperienced, and that cycle will just keep repeating. Some of the most useless pieces of advice I've noticed that is given to guys like me would be, just don't tell them you're inexperienced. Most women will ask about past relationships and dating history. Lying doesn't work long term, because you'll make mistakes that will be a giveaway that you lied, and refusing to give an answer when asked just makes them even more curious and suspicious. Fake it till you make it. This cannot be faked. You can't fake something you do not have in the first place, and this isn't something you can get through by making it up as you go. Just date inexperienced women. You have a better chance of finding a needle in a haystack than you do of finding a woman in her 20s 30s who's also inexperienced. Besides, inexperienced women want experience men to lead them. Just focus on other things. Women will come later. Men have to be the ones to initiate things. Focusing on other things just keeps you in the same situation. Captain Destructo says, it's better to talk about this in terms of probability rather than absolutes. It's possible to meet someone who doesn't mind. A small minority may even find it endearing. But chances are low. The majority of the time inexperience past 30 will present as a giant red flag, or a man can't function as expected at that age. So it's either look to meet a unicorn, lie about it, and quickly be shown up, cause how exactly do you hide this? Invent a past? Try to find someone a lot younger, unlikely and judgments attached, or just give up entirely on a genuine connection and use whatever resources are available to attract someone, probably overseas. Rawn says, the last option is to find someone who thinks it's cute. Men aren't the only ones who find it adorable watching someone blush or stumble over their words. There is something exhilarating about watching someone else experience something great for the first time. A kiss, a sexual experience, or just feeling their heartbeat go a little faster when you cuddle. At the end of the day, dating/being in a relationship is not rocket science. Sure, there are a lot of advice subs, because a great many of us don't know what we are doing once certain scenarios arise. But, if you look at the advice given, the answers aren't too hard to wrap one's head around. Healthy relationships are just really good friendships with a bit of intimacy and mutual desire added. If you know how to be a friend, you know how to be a boyfriend. Realo99 Reborn says, my fate is already sealed, and I'm only 24. My face looks somewhat deformed because of my eye area. At least I have a decent jaw area, but people say that one's eyes are more important. Western Quantity 103 says, I would even say that having absolutely zero experience over 20 is a red flag and diminishes your chances. You're supposed to have your first relationship and lose your virginity in high school like everyone else. It's never okay to be a virgin, and it should bring nothing but shame. Throwaway 54734 says, is this based on women repeatedly being interested in you and then bailing when they find out you're inexperienced? Not saying such cases don't exist, but I doubt you have a statistically meaningful sample size to say how low the odds are. r/ForeverAlone. Dem8NL0 Road says, what do you is the reason that you are still single? My thoughts, I'm sub 5, and I'm mentally stable, and can't have a normal communication. Even the people I communicate with I never let them become close, or share something personal. And now I don't think I can do that anymore, and decide to be alone. Even if there's someone I like, I know she is out of my leagues and gonna say no, so it's not worth the effort. Yowler Clicky Prick says, I'm a socially isolated hermit, above all else. Never had any decent people/friends that stuck with me. The looks are not the best either, but my brain is fried. Like, imagine being in so much pain about your situation, and then doing nothing about it at all. Not even trying. Must be fear, lack of confidence or something, not sure. Sharp Efficiency 2984 says, I'm ugly so I isolate myself and don't even try. Nekovk says. Looks. Monisevich says. I'm ugly, I accepted it, and it is what it is, I guess. Lol. Carab0al0u says. Not good enough. Not good looking enough, don't make enough money, don't work out enough, not smart enough, don't approach enough, not charismatic enough, all of the above. I'm simply not good enough, and not worthy of love. Icewing Angel says. Rolled an extremely terrible hand that led to very little opportunities and ultimately a self-fulfilling prophecy. NVM being below average altogether. Flextoff says. I'm stuck in a pocket universe. Hermit Monkey says. I'm inherently non-social. My social battery is a potato and some copper wire that burns out at the slightest drain. As such, I have neither the desire nor ability to mingle among people. I wouldn't know what to do with them, and if I force myself I would be harming myself with the overwhelming urge to explore the inside of a wall with my skull. Surely you can see the paradox coming from a mile away now. Despite being as non-social as one reasonably can be, I'm still chained to this seemingly innately human desire for some form of companionship and intimacy, which are forever out of reach, because they are gated behind a level of socialization that exceeds my capacity by several magnitudes. That is the practical barrier, the thing that nulls the chances entirely. Is there someone out there in the world that I would mesh with wonderfully? Possibly, but there is no chance of ever running into her. And I probably wouldn't, even if I did force myself, because they'd probably also either not be found there, or our respective masks, while forcing ourselves would just repel each other. Beyond those practical barriers there are ethical issues. I believe every woman in this world deserves better than what my passively suicidal dysthymic waste of space can offer, for a variety of reasons that I shall not bore you with. Bottom line, it is inevitable. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.